Hey, Nick and Drag here. I'll do a tutorial. My mate wants to know how to do the base cover for the Planetary OK Go whatever. OK Planetary Go whatever by MCR. So this is going to be a really shitty one, just to show you how it's done, and then I'll do a proper one tomorrow. So just for you, for skinification, Nishy. 3 parts. First part, it's only on A string, with 1 on E, so you don't have to worry about the D string or the G string. Alright. First note, 7th fret of A, 3rd of A, 3rd of E, and 5th of A. Then you go into the second bit, which is basically the same except variation, so it's 7th on A again, 3rd on A, 6th on A, and then you do like a little run on the 3rd of A again. So it's da 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 da. So I'll go through that slowly. 7th A, 3rd A, 3rd E, 5th A, 7th A, 3rd A, 6th A, 3rd A. Yeah, so the little. And that's your first bit done, which you'll be using quite a bit, so I'll call that part 1. Then there's part 2, which is probably it's not tricky, it's just knowing how to get to it and playing it. Practice using a pick first. So, because you need to alternate your strings, so it's boom, 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 boom. And then you move down. So, practice with the pick first, so I'll play up here. So it's, well, without the notes first, it's okay. So that's using A, D, A, D, A, D. Yeah, so without notes. A, D, A, D, A, D. E, D, not A, D. E, D, E, D, E, D, E, D. A, G. A, A. That's the picking pattern that you'll need to do. Then with comparison with the notes. Yeah. 3rd on E. 5th on G. D. 5th on G. D. Ugh. 3rd on E. 5th on D. So it's. Yeah. Oh no, I'm doing the picking pattern wrong. Let's go through this bit. Right, so it's 3rd. So just alternating for that, so it's so it's 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and then you do 3rd on D, and then 5th on D. So it's to speed. So you play that twice. Yeah, so remember it's 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5. And then same placing, so like you'd have a called a octave chord, I'm not sure. You move to your A string and your G string. So then it's 2nd on A and then 4th on G. So it's 3 of them. 4 of them. So yeah, Okay, so for them, so it's simple, no movements. Then you just move upper fret, no, yes, upper fret, to the third on A, and the fifth on G. How many times do you play that? One, two, one, two. I think you only play that. Yeah. So it's starting again. 3, 5, 3, 3E, 5G, 3, 5. Yeah. I can't remember the music, but those are the ones you need. So the first one's 3 on E and 5 on G. D, 5 on G. D. Sorry. 3 on E, 5 on D, with the 3 on D and 5 on D as well. But then it's 2 on A and 4 on G, and then 3 on A, 5 on G, and then your A, 3, 1. Okay, that's part 2. Detailed one tomorrow, don't worry, Nishy. Let me practice it. Then the other lick you need later on is a very slow lick. It's things like that. No, not that one. That's later on. I'm unbelievable, yeah. Don't undefeatable, yeah. Just doing anything. Yeah. So that's that bit. So it's I'm undefeatable, yeah. And then you go back into part 2. Yeah. So what that lick is, 5th on A. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, and then 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you go down down to your 3rd. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever. I don't know how many. A number of them till it ends, and then you go back into part 2, which is the but when you do the second time, when you're doing the 2nd on A and 4th on G, you do so it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So 3 times, and then on the 4th time you don't go back to your A, you play 5th G, so it's so if I move that closer, it's oh shit. Right. And then you just do the 5th again on the 3rd. Yeah. And that's about it really. Those are the only 3 parts you really need. You can customise part 3 for the bit that I was on about earlier, which is just deep and you know that bit. So it's 5th, it's the 7th, and then you go all the way down to your 15th. You've got to learn that lick in your head to know the timing's right. So it's and then you go back to 5th, 15th, 5th, 7th, 7th, and 15th. And the 4th time you do your 5th, then your 7th, and then your 15th, yes. And then you go to 17th on A, those are all on A. And then it goes back to part 2, that's it really. I'll do a detailed one tomorrow. So let's recap all the licks you need to know. Part 1, 7th on A, 3rd on A, 3rd on E, 5th on A, 7th on A, 3rd on A, 6th on A, 3rd on A. Little weird lick. Part 2, 3rd on E, 5th on D, 3rd on D, 5th on D, 2nd on A, 4th on G, 3rd on A, 5th on G, 3rd on A, 1st on A. Then what? Part 3. 5th on A, 5th on A, 7th on A, 3rd on A, and then alternation at the end is 5th on A, 7th on A, 15th weird lick thing. And then obviously the 4th time you play it, it's... and then you're going to do part 2 again. So the ordering is part 1, part 2, part 3, part 2, there's a pause before the part 3. So part 1, part 2, pause, part 3, part 2, part 1, part 2, part 3 was added a variation, and then part 2 to end. I think I got that right. There's a new one tomorrow, Nishan. Just try and figure those ones out so far. The one you learn most is... why don't you just keep doing that over and over again? Just do... this. Right. Just figure it out like that. Okay? Sorry, this is the best I got. I'm tired, Nishan, okay? Love you. Subscribe. Crap, you know, if you want to watch this, if you're not Nishan. This is primarily from Nishan, so sorry guys. Laters.